It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed. Out of nowhere, your brain pulls up a memory from 11 years ago. Something you once said at a party. A joke that didn't land. A silence that lasted 1 second too long. You cringe. Your body tenses. But the real reason this happens is far stranger than embarrassment. Your brain isn't punishing you. It's rehearsing. For most of human history, you didn't live alone. You lived in a group of 30 to 50 people. That group was your food, your protection, your defense. If the group rejected you, you didn't just feel sad. You died, alone, with no way to fend off a predator by yourself. So evolution built you a warning system. Not for physical danger, for social danger. Psychologist Mark Leary calls this the sociometer theory. Your brain constantly and unconsciously tracks how much other people value you. Not because you're insecure, because for most of human history, being valued by the group was the difference between living and starving. Here's the strange part. Your brain barely knows the difference between a life-threatening rejection and an awkward joke at dinner. Both trigger the same ancient circuit, the one that once meant exile from the tribe. That's why the memory doesn't fade like a normal one. Most information gets filed away and forgotten. What you had for lunch 3 Tuesdays ago is gone, but a moment where you might have lowered your social standing gets flagged as important. Your brain keeps bringing the file back up, especially at night when nothing else demands your attention. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger ran a study that changed how researchers see this. She had people play a ball-tossing game inside a brain scanner. At some point, the other players stopped throwing them the ball. What lit up wasn't mild annoyance. It was the anterior cingulate cortex, the same region active during physical pain. Social rejection, even in a fake game, registered like a burn or a broken bone. Being left out of a make-believe game activated pain circuitry. Now think about your 2 a.m. memory. Your brain isn't overreacting. It's using the exact system it was built to use. But why replay it? Why not just feel it once and move on? Psychologist Roy Baumeister studied the negativity bias, the tendency for bad experiences to affect you far more than good ones of equal size. An ancient human who remembers the plant that made him sick avoids it forever. One who forgets might eat it again and die. Evolution rewards humans who avoid what hurt them, not ones who simply feel good. Social mistakes work the same way. If you vividly remember the joke that fell flat, you're less likely to repeat it. Your brain isn't torturing you at 2 a.m. It's trying to stop history from repeating. Every time you recall a memory, your brain rebuilds it in that moment. When there's no new information competing for attention, quiet, dark, no phone, your brain has room to run its favorite rehearsals. This is why cringing happens more at night. During the day, your mind is busy. At night, it uses the spare capacity to review the file it thinks is unfinished business. Here's what's strange. That embarrassing moment from 11 years ago, almost no one else remembers it. Psychologist Thomas Gilovich named this the spotlight effect, the tendency to believe people notice and remember you far more than they actually do. In his studies, people who wore an embarrassing shirt into a room overestimated by more than double how many people would recall it. You're likely the only person still holding that memory. The person you thought judged you forever probably forgot within the hour. Their brain never flagged the moment as threatening because it wasn't their moment. It was yours. The system keeping you awake at 2 a.m. is running on outdated data. It evolved for a world where 30 people knew your name and watched your every move. You don't live in that world now. You live among millions of strangers who will never think about you again. But your brain hasn't caught up. It's ancient code, running on modern hardware. This doesn't mean the feeling is fake. It only means the feeling is very old. Every time you cringe over something small, you're not weak. You're feeling the same circuitry that once kept your ancestors inside the safety of the group. The wiring that made sure you never got left outside the fire, alone, in the dark. Understanding where the feeling comes from won't make it vanish instantly, but it gives you a choice in how you respond. The next time your brain drags up something from years ago, you'll know what's really happening. Not proof you did something unforgivable, just an old alarm system, misfiring in a world it was never built for. Tonight, when the sun goes down and your mind starts its old rehearsals, you might feel that familiar heat rise in your chest. But this time, you'll know. It's not the moment being replayed. It's the wiring behind it, still trying to keep you near the fire.